The story that I'm going to tell you is a sad one.
For 8 consecutive nights, people in Tehran have defied authorities to protest over the death of Mahsa Amini. The 22-year-old died in custody last week after being arrested by so-called morality police. She'd allegedly violated the country's policy on headscarves. Similar protests are spreading across Iran. In the northwestern city of Oshnave, demonstrators defied a warning by the Iranian army that it would confront what it called enemies of the state. Similar protests were held in the western city of Karamabad. Tehran has limited internet services to clamp down on the growing dissent.
Mahsa Amini was killed a couple of weeks ago in Iran, in Tehran. And the reason why I'm talking about this is that this concerns me on a personal level, since I was married to a Persian girl and I was with 2 other Persian girls in my life as well. And I have a lot of Persian friends, Iranian friends, that live all over the world and in Iran itself. So I am feeling for the Iranian people a lot. I know the culture, I know how amazing those people are and how tragic the whole story is. So first of all, I want to give you an update of what actually happened in Iran. In Iran, for many people it's hard to imagine how life is there actually. But I know a little bit about it, as I said, because of all my friends. And there is something like a special police that takes care that the people live according to the Islamic rules. So, for example, how to wear your hijab, how to wear your headband, scarf, whatever. And it's oppressive. So most of the people, they don't want that, especially young people that have access to the internet and so forth, especially women and especially girls. They don't really want to comply, but they have to comply. So it's pretty normal in Iran and many places to not fully wear your headscarf, to have a little bit of hair showing, which is according to some Islamic scholars not the right way of wearing a hijab. But then you shouldn't force it onto people in the first place. That's the problem. That is here not how you wear the hijab. So there's this kind of police in Iran, and they are going around and they might, come to you on the street if you're not wearing your headscarf correctly and tell you to do so, and they may even arrest you. And this is what happened on, I think, the 16th of September. So Mahsa Amini was detained by this police for nothing else than not wearing her clothes correctly, which is shocking as it is and barbaric as it is. But they then proceeded to do the unspeakable and to torture this woman to death, ultimately. 2 hours after Mahsa Amini was detained, she was brought to a hospital and with severe injuries, severe bleeding and also a broken skull. If I'm talking about this, shivers go down my back because it's so horrible to think of that somebody would first of all get detained because of their choice of wearing a headscarf not according to those people. But to kill a person because of something like that, that is, in my opinion, truly deplorable and horrible. What happened is an uprising of the people of Iran. The people of Iran had enough. 40 years or 50 years of Islamic rulership has shown the people that it's not a good way, basically. And a lot of people are going on the street. A lot of brave Iranian and Persian people are going on the street, risking their life and risking to get detained, tortured and killed themselves ultimately. The problem is nobody is really putting a lot of attention to this. This is also why I'm doing this video, to at least, wake up maybe a couple of people that didn't know about this, because the news is full of bullshit. The news is full of what? Depending on where you are, full of, might be other really not that interesting things. And also, of course, the Ukraine war, which is a horrible war, no question about it. But it's just not the only shit happening on this globe. There is just so much happening. And one of the true horrible things that happened is the incident with Mahsa Amini and what ensued after that. That is something that we should talk about, because the people of Iran are suffering and they need our help and they need our support. That doesn't mean that you have to send teddies and money to Iran. That also means that you need to acknowledge the situation that they are in, that they find themselves in, the horrible kind of situation that they are forced to endure. Anybody who can leave the country leaves the country. Most of the people that have the possibility to leave the country already left Iran. A lot of young people, if you want to fulfill your dream in a certain field, for example as a musician or as a tattoo artist, for example, you almost have no choice other than to leave Iran to make your dream a reality after all. So what is the status quo? The status quo is that people are going on the streets right now, risking their life, and you have a totally frightened mullahship, or how to say, like, you know, in Iran, the political system is, there is actually elected leaders, but they are above them. There is the mullah, the theological leaders, so religious people, and that makes it non-secular. So it's like, it's a place run by religious fanatics, and under them you have politicians doing their work. So overall, quite horrible situation, and those people are frightened, and because they are frightened, they are willing to do really horrible things. They are anyway willing to do horrible things, but now they find themselves cornered. Hopefully, actually, we need to talk about this, and we need to say it as it is. The Iranian people are suffering and are under a repressive regime that makes their lives hell, and worse, takes lives in many cases by killing people that have the guts to speak out against the unjust regime that they are living under, even if they are famous people, like, for example, sportsmen. But also even they're willing to take the life of a girl that was just above 20 years old and completely innocent in that regard. And she was, you know, robbed of her life because of a scarf that she didn't wear correctly. I think the whole situation is quite horrible. And really, my heart is with my Iranian friends in this case. I am really feeling for them. I'm feeling their pain that they have to go through right now, where their hands are bound, and the only thing that they can do is scream that, hey guys, look at our situation. It's really, really, really bad. Yes, there's other places like the Ukraine where you have huge conflicts and huge injustices done, but this is something that we need to be aware of. It's not some obscure place. Iran is a fucking ginormous country with a ginormous amount of people living in that country, living under a systematically repressive regime. That's it, guys. Do yourself a favor, learn about it, learn about the situation. Support your Iranian friends if you have them. Support Iran in the right way. The people of Iran, of course. You do not want to support the government in any way, because it's one of the worst governments in the world and in human history. So support the Iranian people and give them all what you can give them, even if it's just your attention, and see that they are suffering. That's it. See you guys. Bye.